My name is Cynthia Reid, and I'm an educator. It was a conscious decision. And Mother Nature, did its thing. And one day I realized I was gray, and it took me a while to finally realize I was gray. With feedback from other people, it seemed like a natural thing to keep doing. And why would I color my hair? It never really occurred to me to color it. It's been this way for 20, 25 years, so it's what it is. I wash it and put some goop on it, and that's me. Sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer. Longer. The benefit is that, and I guess that comes with the gray hair. I feel wiser than I did when 20 years ago or 30 years ago. The benefit is that things always will work out, and that there's nothing to get too excited about. Life, it's what it is. Um, I think there are some negatives because you don't see yourself in the world that much as being, a wise person. You're old and relegated to the back. But I think now I'm more comfortable with who I am and what I'm doing and what I say and how I act. That, I don't know if the gray hair brings that on or not, but that's part of it. My uncle used to tell me that age was only a number. It meant nothing. Now, when he told me that, he was my age, and so I didn't get it. I get it now because you still feel like the same person you were when you were 12 or 13 or whatever that age is. And so I think the older you get, the more one realizes that it is a number and it's a manufactured experience that people tell you you're supposed to be doing certain things at certain ages. And this society we live in is often geared for the youth, because that makes people money and they can sell products and whatever. And takes I think it takes a lot of courage to stand up to that and say it doesn't matter, that it is only a number, and you stand in your truth or whatever age you are. Well, I think that older people have a lot of wisdom and needs to be honored and respected, and people can learn from it. One of my favorite things is to say that everything old is new again. Okay, and after you've been around a while, you realize, oh yeah, I've seen that before, and then it's not new. Okay, it's been here, but you weren't here or you weren't noticing when it first came along. So I think that we need to honor more of our elders and respect them, and I think in a lot of communities, families, we do. I think if you watch television all day, you don't. But I think the other part is to turn that off and try not to listen. When I was a kid, I remember my friend's grandmother was ignored, and I couldn't imagine how you could ignore your grandmother. Okay, really? So that's not my family. That the elders were honored and respected, and I think in most families they are, because we have a lot to still offer. Just because I have gray hair doesn't mean I'm dead or not not able. And I think that sometimes we think that the elders are not able. I think it should be celebrated, but even when you said woman, gray hair, older, I cringed. I thought, oh, because the stereotype is that we should be in a rocking chair or sitting in the kitchen or knitting or whatever. And I think it should be celebrated. And the more you see gray hair, the more you realize, oh, we can do whatever we want. And there's a comes a time which I feel like not that I'm on second childhood, but I think that now that I'm older and more experienced about so many more things, that I'm quite capable, or probably more capable and competent than when I was had dark hair or was 25. Um, I don't know that it will actually happen because this world is, you know, consumed with money and promoting that kind of those products, and that doesn't speak to the older generation. Though when you do watch TV, you see the medicine and the auto insurance and certain telephones are geared to older people. So maybe when Madison Avenue starts getting grayer, that they'll realize that there is a market for us and that we're still around and we're still smart and capable. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think it's, I don't know. But I also know that I don't tell people how old I am anymore because I think it is, one does get discriminated against, and it may be in a negative way or a positive way. And so I think it should not matter, though I think it really does matter to so many people your age. I feel more comfortable than I've ever felt in my entire life. Okay. And yes, I'm 70 years old. Okay. Which I like to say like 17-year-olds. Okay. And my friend said, but that's a lot of energy, but I still feel like I have a lot of energy. And I feel better than probably I did when I was 7 or 10, because you got so many more worries about stuff. Okay. Than, at 70, because you don't care. Okay. And at this point, you're only going to do what you want to do. Okay. And you're not going to listen to all that gobbledygook that people want to tell you. Okay. No. Okay. So my message would be to try to get comfortable. And one of the ways is to honor your gray, because it is about being wise and having walked around all this time. Okay. And it's interesting how certain people go gray and some other people don't. I don't know what that means, but I think that one should honor it rather than trying to be something you're not. So go for it. And I think more people who become gray, and I notice more gray people now that I'm gray. It's like, oh, he's gray, she's gray, okay. So I think there's a group out there who really want to embrace that position, and I think it's a position that's worth honoring and being noble about. So